Okay, sorry I'm not very camera friendly. I'm not the nicest to look at, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to give out a warning for people who have pets that they love and adore and treat as their children or as a piece of medical equipment, like I have my Stella. Up here in Canada, we have a mean little seed that's about yay big. Well, that's the tip of the thing that has all these little extra seeds. It almost looks like a corn of cob in a sense. Or a cob of corn, but it's corn of cob. Brain fart, sorry. It almost looks like a cob of corn with the way the seeds go up it. And each one has these little feathery things off the tip. Well, the issue with those is that they get onto the pets, cat, dog, anything with fur. It can get in their fur and it can work its way into their skin. Well, this happened to my service dog Stella in 2019. She was only a year, not even a year old. I think she was about 10 or 11 months old. And she had literally a softball size blob or abscess, whatever you want to call it, right on her throat, right on her, it's next to the jugular and carotid according to the vet. Well, they went in and they surgically emptied the sac that holds all the pus and stuff from the abscess. They emptied it out, sutured her back up. They did get all the seeds and all the stuff that comes with it, which was perfect. I never thought I would have to deal with it again. But because the abscess has a sac that holds it, they try to take the sac out. Every time they try to remove the sac. If you watch Dr. Pimple Popper, you'll see what I mean, because she does it all the time to people. Well, because Stella's abscess sac was touching her jugular and her carotid, or was so close to them, and the fact that it was so swollen, they could not remove the sac as well. So, about $2,000, $2,500 the first time in 2019 to get it removed, to have it cleaned up, to have her sutured up, and a couple of weeks off as a service dog, which was fine. I don't mind that. It just means I stick around the house more, because she is a PTSD service dog. Well, this time around, it took much more out of her. The last time, by the next day, it was like nothing happened. She was gung-ho and ready to conquer the world, according to her, at least by her behavior. This time around, however, she didn't eat for 2 days, so back and forth to the vet many a times, because she wasn't eating. She was vomiting profusely. Like every couple of minutes, she'd walk and vomit as she's walking. Like just poof, it comes out. And it was all stomach acids and such, because she hadn't eaten. She couldn't eat the night before for the surgery. She had the surgery by 9 a.m. in the morning. She was in surgery. But by the next day, she still wasn't eating. So take her back to the hospital. $3,000 later, finding out that it's possible for the sac to refill because it was, again, too swollen to remove, and it was too close to the jugular and carotid for the vet to feel safe enough to remove it. So now I have to wait until it's gone down completely, it's healed, supposedly. Then they want to take a CT scan and possibly go in and remove the sac when it's yay big compared to this big, which is fine. Go for it. The only issue and the only problem I have is for a $25,000 dog with all the training and all the costs that come with a service dog. How a vet can find it okay to charge for, and I mean absolutely bloody everything. I thought doctors were bad. Vets are disgusting. No offense. I'm grateful for what they do for my animals. Very much so, in fact. They've saved my dogs many times. They've saved birds. The issue I have is the fact that they keep charging for breathing. They charge for basically everything but the phone call. So this time around it was $3,000. So that's close to $6,000 with everything, with all the medication she's on, which is 5 different medications this time around. She's on antibiotics for a month to try and make sure that this does not come back, because the samples they sent out were growing some pretty funky stuff from what I was told. So they want her on amoxicillin for a month. Fine, put her on it. But why do you have to charge every time you come in for a post-op appointment, when I wouldn't have needed the post-op if you had done it right the first time? If you had done the CT scan 2 years ago, or even 18 months ago. Anyways, that's just part of it. But I just wanted to let people know that, please, this is speargrass. Anything like that can get in your pet's fur. Please, 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 I'm begging you, for the sake of your pocketbook, the sake of your family, and anyone who loves that animal, and for yourself, to please check your pets over when they get out of the grass. When they come back in the house, check their fur. Give them a brushing. Take a comb through them. Whatever you can to pull these seeds out of them. Because these seeds are extremely, extremely dangerous if they get under the skin. Just be aware that it happens, and that something the size of a grain of rice, okay, so it's small, so the size of like a grain of rice, got under my girl's skin and has cost me nearly $6,000 to date to try and get rid of it and the causes from it. So this is just a warning to please check your animals when they come in from the outdoors, and make sure that they don't have any seeds in their fur that can work under the skin. Because if they do, it's going to cause some serious issues, and possibly even for life. Because this is now 2.5 years, at least 2 years since it originally happened, since the first seed entered somewhere in this area. Okay, it probably landed on her big fluffy ears that I have, or her head, wherever it landed, but it somehow worked into next to her jugular. So this is just a warning to please check your pets over when they come in from outdoors, especially at this time of year. Spring and summer are horrible for this, and a lot of pets, if you need to, look it up on Google Map, or not Google Maps, but look it up on Google and see what speargrass is, and you'll see what to look for. But that's what you need to be aware of. Speargrass and other seeds can be extremely dangerous to our fur babies. Take care, and God bless me. God willing, none of you have to deal with it.